a man found a small, orphan bear cub. Feeling sorry for the lonely creature, he took the cub home, fed it, and raised it with care. But 3 years later, something shocking happened. Before we dive into this heartwarming and surprising story, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these incredible stories to life. Now, let's continue. 30-year-old Alex returned home every evening after work along the same road, which passed near the forest. One evening, after working until 7, it was already dark as he made his way home. Suddenly, he heard a strange noise coming from the bushes. It sounded like a plaintive squeak, as if something or someone was in trouble, desperately calling for help. Curious and concerned, Alex followed the sound and was surprised to find a tiny bear cub that looked like it had just been born. The poor little thing sat with its paws tucked under it, trembling with fear and squeaking helplessly. Alex became cautious, aware that an angry mother bear could be nearby. But after several minutes passed and no bear appeared, he realized the cub had been left without its mother, likely due to hunters or illness. With a kind heart, Alex knew he couldn't leave the tiny bear to fend for itself. Carefully, he picked up the cub and carried it to his home. The little bear immediately felt safe, stopping its trembling and calming down in Alex's warm jacket. Once home, Alex poured warm milk into a bowl, mixing in a bit of sugar. The hungry cub eagerly crawled over to the bowl and began lapping up the milk, clearly starved after being alone for so long. It seemed the cub had been without its mother for quite some time, likely wandering out of the forest in desperation, heading towards the city. Alex stroked the bear's soft fur and decided to keep it, knowing the helpless cub wouldn't survive on its own in the wild. He named his new, unusual companion Archie. The little bear quickly got used to his new home and kind owner. Alex had a dog, Stella, a cute mongrel with kind eyes. At first, Stella was afraid of Archie when the man first brought him into the house and growled menacingly at the furry animal. But after a few days, the dog realized that Archie was just a tiny, defenseless cub who really lacked his mother's love and care. Only a couple of weeks had passed, and the two pets were already happily running after each other around the yard next to the house. Stella ran away, and Archie cheerfully hobbled after her on his funny little paws. Archie grew quickly, becoming bigger and bigger every day. Soon we had to buy for him not milk, but canned meat for adult dogs. Of course, Archie devoured them greedily. The bear cub gradually turned into a large and strong beast. When Archie was 3 months old, he was the size of a large dog. The little bear clearly felt cramped in the small house. Toys were scattered in all directions and furniture was overturned on the floor due to the pets playing. Alex knew that soon he would have to release the bear back into the forest where he found it. It was a very difficult decision, because the man became very attached to Archie as to his own being. But he understood perfectly well that this would be better for the bear himself, who was destined to live in freedom and not in a small house. After another couple of weeks, Alex loaded the much-grown Archie into his car and drove him back to the forest, closer to the place where he once found the cub. On the way in the car, the bear cub was very excited and crawled all over the seat, whining pitifully. The pet probably sensed that its owner was taking it somewhere far away. Finally, they reached a place where there were thick bushes along the forest. Alex pulled Archie out of the car and set him down on the grass. Tears welled up in the man's eyes as he gave his club-footed friend a final hug. Archie also seemed to understand everything and whined pitifully, not wanting to let go of the man from his embrace. Then Alex had to scream loudly, which is why the bear cub immediately turned around and quickly ran into the forest. A few seconds later, he disappeared into the bushes, wagging his short tail. Alex looked after the unusual pet for a long time, hoping that he would be able to adapt and survive in the wild. It's been 3 years since Alex released Archie back into the forest. All this time, the man remembered his club-footed friend and was sad for him. They were so close, and now Alex had to wonder what happened to Archie in the wild. The man hoped that his big furry friend could handle everything on his own. One sunny evening, when Alex returned from work, he heard a strange noise coming from the backyard. Stella, who had remained his faithful pet all these years, barked loudly and ran out into the street through the back door. Alex followed her to find out what was going on, since he was not expecting any guests today. Right next to the house, a huge brown bear stood on its hind legs and looked intently at the man. Alex froze in horror, since bears had never gone that far into the city. The man tried not to move, trying not to provoke aggression from the huge predator. However, this did not help, and the bear headed straight towards the man. Alex almost screamed in horror, but at that moment he suddenly recognized the bear as his old friend. It turns out that in front of him was the same little bear cub that he had once picked up, only now it was a real formidable predator. Archie recognized Alex too. He let out a joyful growl and walked close to his old friend. The man tensed, as he did not know what to expect from the huge predator. However, Archie had no intention of hurting the man. The beast carefully wrapped its powerful paws around the man, just as he had done as a child. Archie then gently nuzzled Alex's chest with his muzzle and began to lick his face with his big, rough tongue. Seeing this, Stella began to bark even louder, but Alex calmed her down. The man finally realized that the bear was not going to attack him, He specifically came to say hello to a good friend who once saved his life. Touched, Alex went to the refrigerator, took from there all the food suitable for the bear and brought them to Archie. The bear happily began to gobble up this food, smacking and licking his lips. Half an hour later, he finished everything and looked at the man with gratitude. And Alex at that moment saw in Archie not a huge forest predator, but a small bear cub and his friend. Archie nuzzled the man once more, and then leisurely walked towards the forest, while an excited Alex and Stella looked after him. Alex was incredibly glad that Archie managed to survive and adapt in the forest, which means all his efforts were not in vain. Alex never saw his huge forest friend again, but the unforgettable day of their happy reunion remained forever in the man's memory. Dear viewers, if you like this video, then like and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.